Alright, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Dark Souls 2. So, we're introduced to the story now, and we have our character, the Swordsman, which has some very cool weapons, which you'll see in a moment here. I went out the wrong door. I went back out the door, and I saw that guy. I was like, okay, I can get up there. That is Phantom from another world. Sort of forgot, I was like, I need more weapons. So, real quickly, I'll say, dual wielding has changed. Dual wielding before in Dark Souls, when you would put a weapon in your left hand, it works normally. You have a strong and a heavy attack, all that good stuff. When you put it in your, quote, shield hand, it would act as a shield. You could block with it, or you could try to parry with it. Not cool. But now, if you put a weapon in your, left hand, then it will, of course, it will mimic or mirror your right hand, and you could use both to attack. And later on, you'll see if you have really high stats, then you could actually use a sort of power stance. Anyways, this is an ogre. I'm gonna lose because I'm not ready. I do beat him, but it takes 2 tries. So this ogre, very big, sort of hidden actually. You don't need to fight him, but if you do fight him, you can actually get a stone ring from him. I don't know if that's the correct name, but you'll see in a moment. But I died. Yeah. Kids, listen up. If you want to stay alive, then don't try to heal right in front of the enemy's attacks. And that achievement, yes. Die for the first time. Lovely, I know. So, we got that out of the way. Of course, if you're not aware, every time you die, you leave a bloodstain, and you could retrieve that bloodstain to get the souls back. I didn't have any souls. I was thinking, I could pass him by, but I want to kill him. Because he does drop an item, and I was guessing that. Like, I had no idea what he actually dropped. He's not super tough, but you gotta be careful of that combo, because if you get staggered by the first attack, you might end up getting hit by all 3, and that could be pretty tough. I could only assume that one, like, it looked almost like an uppercut sword sweep. I can assume that would throw you off your feet. There's plenty of attacks that could do that. And that stagger right there, very dangerous. So, you would probably, I mean, like, a lot of stuff you'd probably be better off having a ranged attack, but for me, sort of just waiting for him to do his combo, getting in and doing a couple attacks, getting out again. That seems to work pretty well. Maybe it would have gone even better if I were to use, if I were to two-hand one of my weapons. I could deal a little bit more damage in the few moments I have to attack. But regardless, it's a little bit tough, but one death, I'll take it. 1 death and almost 2, but you know, it worked out in the end. You'll see later on, there are some moments where the gameplay will sort of stutter a bit. I think it's just because how much it's, the stun ring, how much it's sort of rendering at once. But there is pretty smooth. So that ring, I of course equipped the other ring for increased HP, but this one, additional reduction of enemy poise. Oh, that soda's coming back up. I do believe that ring means that whenever you hit someone, you're gonna have an easier time staggering them, which for me, very cool, because I don't have a shield right now, and staggering is gonna be my best friend. Also, I think they sort of rehauled the lighting from Dark Souls 1. I think it looks nice. Something else is that in the first one, you sort of emitted light, which is a little bit weird. But now there's like torches that you use to emit light and other stuff. So, stuff actually is dark. Also, instead of, I mean, there's still the normal like lines on the ground that are red as messages, but there's also some like little signs like that. So our very first bonfire, yay! Right out the gate, you can travel. You could travel wherever you want as long as you've gone to a bonfire before. We have no spells. You could burn a human effigy, which does stuff, but I sort of skipped over it. You could pause if you want to see, but I do believe if you burn it, then that'll cease communication with other stuff, so you can't get invaded. I don't know if that's true. You'll see later on. I'm sorry. You know, it sort of escapes my mind. I should mention there is another ogre over there, and if you kill that ogre, then there's a, like, I read it in the strategy guide, I'm just saying up front. There is a world event around here apparently. If you kill that ogre, kill both of them, you talk to the one of the women back at the tavern sort of dealio, you can unlock a world event where you can go into a coffin and then change genders. I mean, if you want to. Like, it's just a thing. I'll try to show that off later on, because you could use it as many times as you want, so you could just switch genders if you ever aren't satisfied with what you are. Like, that's cool. But, yes, we are here at our first sort of main area. I love this place. It caught me off guard right here. I was like, wait a second, what? It's a little beautiful. It's a Majula. This is sort of the, your hub. This is sort of your fire link, or whatever it was in Demon Souls. I actually missed an item right there, magically. There's a lot of items that just happen to be like around a corner that you don't see. But regardless, there is a lot of little stuff around here. I want to throw this out there. I miss a very important item, which you won't see until episode 3, but trust me, you sort of should get it. I'll try to point it out as we run past.
I packed my tools in here, seeing it was vacant. But now somebody's gone and locked the door.
I can help you with that. I tried the door. It's locked. You're right. Anyways, oh, what's that? What's that? What's that? It's an item. Lovely. I'd say you should always want to check around corners, around buildings, any chance you get. Always useful. See, that's what I was doing here. You might not always find secrets, but oftentimes you will. There is the bonfire for this area, very useful, and now you can travel in between the bonfire we're just at. Alright, do you see the person over by the tree? Talk to that person. Damn it. I'm sorry. Talk to that person off to your right, behind you to the right. I'm trying to like really reinforce it because I miss that person. Didn't even realize. She's actually very important. She's the one that gives you Estus. Which has actually been sort of weakened in a way in this game. Weakened and strengthened, but I'll talk about that later. And also, she lets you level up. She's sort of important, but I didn't even realize. I didn't know, but you'll see that later on. But she's over there by that tree if you want to talk to her, if you're watching through these videos for help. But this guy is very similar to the Crestfallen Warrior from Dark Souls. He's sort of that... He's a warrior that has tried, and he's all depressed, and he's like, well, I accidentally skip over a little bit of his dialogue, my bad. It's hard to tell when they actually stop sometimes.
You probably heard that it was possible to break the curse here. Well, that's not true. There's nothing here for you, me.
Oh, Mr. Grouchy Pants, don't worry about it.
I'm told that the soul is the essence. Anything living, sentient, what we call the curse, is traceable. Do you see what that means? To be alive, to walk this
I actually like that quote.
That's the real curse, right there.
It's a bit true.
We undead will never die. And
I like this though. You could examine this. 17,000 people have died worldwide. This is like an hour into the game being launched. I could only assume that some of those happened beforehand, but that's fucking a lot of people. I'm currently 2 hours into the game. Later on, I'll get a chance. Watch. I'm gonna run right past her. She's to my left. Damn it, I passed her again. It's frustrating for me, because now I know, but that's what you get when you go into this blind. But since I have a chance, I should tell you. Also, there's a chest to your right. I didn't even realize. It's all good. Actually, right now, I was trying to get to a, what do you call it? An item I saw off in the distance. Turns out you can't actually get it from this way. You get it from going back up the path where you walked into Majula, and then dropping down onto a little ledge. But regardless, this path actually takes you to the Forest of Giants, which, yeah, I mean, this probably is the first place you should go, but you can go any direction, to be honest. Anyways, this little room, nothing too much important, but there is an item down there, so like you could always get that. Could walk around, but I decided to take the ballsy way and drop down, which could have killed me, but I got lucky, because you never know with slippery slopes. It's it's always possible to die. Yeah, human effigy. Again, very useful. I was thinking about jumping that, but I realized I don't know how to jump. At least at the time. I know now that you can jump by actually you sprint and then you press down L3, which is really cool. You press down on the control stick, which works perfectly for me, at least on the PS3. I'm sure it's L3 or whatever. The left stick on 360. Really cool feature, but I had no clue. I just didn't know. So again, strategy guide helped me out later on, because up until then I didn't actually need it, because you can walk around and get this item. You're not required to jump or anything. Homeward bones, very useful. They take you back to your bonfire, or the previous bonfire you're at, so I won't use them for a while, but they could be helpful, especially when you're like all chalked up, full of souls. You don't want to die? Homeward bone. So yay! We have our first actual mob. Not like a little hidden ogre, we have some actual monsters here. These are just hollowed warriors, I think. What can I say? They act very similar to just the normal hollows in Dark Souls. They sort of stagger around like zombies, and they oftentimes just flail their weapons, which is very good against me because they can stagger me very easily. And that's never fun, to be honest. So I am not super well versed in all the stats, so I don't know what they all stand for yet. But I will try to understand that later on so I can make proper choices in terms of items. Not saying that's a bad choice, I'm just saying I'm not super sure right now. But awesome, now we have a bonfire in the Force of Giants, very useful. And I think I show off here. Nope. I was gonna say I wasn't sure if I showed off, but you can travel back to now either the it's called the Farfire in Majula, or the Blickstrix or something like that, the other place. Anyways, that move right there, where I jumped and spun, you could actually do that by dashing with these weapons, and just using a normal attack, which is pretty cool. They drop items. The gloves for me are crap, but regardless. I make a silly mistake here. I use the, sorry, I'm just disappointed with myself, because I didn't know. The life gems heal a lot. They could heal upwards of like half my health bar, I think, right now. But I make the mistake of using too many of them, which is not good. You do not want to spam the life gems, because I don't think they stack, and all you end up doing is running through resources and making it easier for you to die later on, which sucks, but whatever, live and learn, you know. So there is an item over at the little pool of water there, which I did catch because I was trying to pay attention. And you know, just after how much I've played, I actually like how it feels. I went back and played a little bit of Demon Souls, and holy crap, when you attack people, it didn't feel like you're actually hitting them, I think. In Dark Souls, they nailed it pretty well. There was a certain weight to whatever you're using, like daggers, swords, axes, anything really. Same thing here, you know. I think it feels good. So I'm not disappointed with this game at all. Yeah, as far as I can tell. There still might be stuff, but who knows. I'm sorry. This place, not good for me because I make some mistakes here. Firstly, I make the mistake of letting that guy hit me too many times. And soon enough, you'll see in the next episode, actually, you'll see I make the mistake of fighting that guy because, yeah, I was not ready. I did not properly prepare. I tried talking to him. I wasn't sure if he was a person or not, and then I remembered seeing him in some gameplay. He is actually an enemy, and quite strong at this level. So he is not one you want to fight with, but if you do, there are some things you got to worry about. Regardless, that guy who looked dead, not dead. But that, I think, is about to wrap it up with this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and in the next one, we will talk a bit more about the Force of Giants and some of the mistakes I made so that you could possibly avoid those mistakes yourself when you play through this part. See you then. Goodbye.